Good morning, ultimate hustlers and digital empire builders. It is that time for the Cortez Hustle Show. And today we're talking about training your hustle. That's right, exercise as a business strategy. Have you ever thought about that? What if I told you that your fitness routine can give you a competitive advantage in your business? Yeah, that's what we're talking about today, man. So do me a huge favor. Comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and on your brand. And let's kick it this morning. Yo, what's up, ultimate hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the Black Bear Success Mastermind Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri, where we're on a mission to help Black people become the #1 employers of Black people. And we do that by focusing on entrepreneurship and business development, and digital marketing is a huge component of that. There is a wealth gap, but there's also a tech gap, especially when it comes to Black businesses and their online presence. They just are slow to embrace technology. So text Mastermind to 314-866-4053 and let us help you build a solid online presence that can help transform your business. Again, text keyword Mastermind to 314-866-4053. I'm looking forward to connecting with you. We literally give you hundreds of dollars of free tools, resources, and value every single week in that community. So something that you definitely want to be a part today, we're talking about how to train your hustle, right? Have you ever considered exercise as a business strategy? I want y'all to put that in the comments, right? While you're putting in the comments the name of your business and or your brand and telling us a little bit about what you do, I want you to tell me in the comments, have you ever considered exercise as a business strategy? Because it absolutely is. There's a reason that the top 1% of business owners, the top 5% of business owners, the top 10% of business owners all have serious diet, nutrition, and exercise routines, right? Because it literally will give you a competitive advantage. We're going to talk all about that today. But before I do that, y'all know I got to go through a couple quick announcements. Hey, the Black Bear Success Show on Roku is kicking off next week, January 5th, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. I'm so excited about it that I decided to give away free vacations every every day until the show launches. How do you get yourself a free vacation? It is quite simple. All you got to do is go to your Roku app or your Roku device and download the Unheard TV channel. That's Unheard, Unheard TV. There's a channel on Roku. That's where the Black Biz Success Show is going to be. And if you take a picture of your TV with the Unheard channel on your Roku device and send it to me via inbox or via email at hcortez@blackbizsuccess.com, you will get a free vacation voucher to one of over 30 different destinations of your choosing. So that's all you got to do to enter to win. Also, for those of you who have been looking at the Black Biz Success app, the all-in-one sales, marketing, and lead generation platform that I use to build and grow my online presence, we are officially launching the app next month. And y'all know what that means. The beta test price is going to be over. So the price will eventually increase. But as of right now, you got an opportunity to get our big business plan and our solopreneur plan price. What does that mean? You get all of our features for very, 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 very low price. I'm literally letting you guys steal this from me as a way to get all the bugs worked out and everything set so that we can help more Black-owned businesses grow and scale their online presence. So just keep that in mind. Check out blackbizsuccess.com if you haven't already to see what's included. And I think you're going to like what you get. Plus, you're going to get all of our training and resources that help you grow and scale your business. So that's it for the announcements. I also like to start the show with a quote or an excerpt of the day. And today, we're going to not do a quote. I thought I'd read to you guys this excerpt from Think and Grow Rich, right? At the end of the book, there is a chapter on fear, right? And overcoming fear. Let me see who we have jumping on the stream this morning. Who's not afraid? My man, John L. Smith, is not afraid to say who he is and what he does. Financial wealth mentor, life insurance, and retirement with my man, John L. Smith, Integrity Wealth Solutions. Y'all check my man out if you need some of those services. So today's excerpt of the day is from the book Think and Grow Rich, and the most destructive fear. Fear of poverty is a state of mind, nothing else, but it is sufficient to destroy one's chances of achievement in any undertaking. The fear paralyzes the faculty of reason, destroys the faculty of imagination, kills off self-reliance, undermines enthusiasm, discourages initiative, leads to uncertainty of purpose, encourages procrastination, wipes out enthusiasm, and makes self-control an impossibility. It takes the charm from one's personality, destroys the possibility of accurate thinking, diverts concentration of effort. It masters persistence, turns the willpower into nothingness, destroys ambition, beclouds the memory, and invites failure in every conceivable form. It kills love and assassinates the finer emotions of the heart, discourages friendship, and invites disaster in 100 forms, leads to sleeplessness, misery, and unhappiness. And all of this, despite the obvious truth that we live in a world of overabundance of everything the heart could desire, with nothing standing between us and our desires except lack of definite purpose. You guys have a definite purpose, a definite chief aim. I want you to put that in the comments, right? You got to have a definite purpose. And I'm going to read this last little excerpt and we're going to move on for today. But the majority of people, if asked what they fear most, would reply, I fear nothing. The reply would be inaccurate because few people realize that they are bound, handicapped, whipped spiritually and physically through some form of fear. So subtle and deeply seated in the emotion of fear that one may go through life burdened with it but never recognizing its presence. That's the power of fear, ladies and gentlemen. And if you've been following me for a while, then you know that I believe all fear is rooted in what we think other people think about us. As much as we like to say we don't care what other people think, that too is a lie. Just like people who say, I fear nothing is a lie. We care what other people think. And as a result, we are afraid of what we think other people will think. And that allows us to put self regulators and limitations on ourselves because we don't want to be criticized. So that is the book excerpt or the quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by the Black Bear Success Mastermind Book of the Month. Listen, if you want to learn how to make more money online, it comes down to just a handful of things. You got to have leads in any business. And when you're online, what do you get leads from? You get leads from traffic. Well, I'm putting the link in the comments to Russell Brunson's book, Traffic Secrets. You can get yourself a free copy. Just click on the link in the description, and all you have to do is pay $8 for shipping, and that book, my friend, is yours. I am actually rereading it myself, and we're reading it as a community in the Black Bear Success Mastermind for the month of January. So I'm telling you guys now, so you can go ahead and order it and get it in. But it's a wonderful, wonderful read, and it will give you all the tools and resources. So if you click on this link in the comments, let me drop this in here right quick. You can go ahead and get you a free copy of that book. All you do is pay for shipping. And for some reason the link doesn't work, just hit me up in my inbox and I'll make sure that you get the link. So we're talking today about exercise as a business strategy. How many of you guys have considered exercise as a business strategy? I know most people haven't, right? And until I started doing this study, I didn't realize that it was part of one of my superpowers, right? I've all my whole life, I have been naturally energetic. I've been pretty fit. Always been lean and thin, and I didn't know that that led to some of my creative genius. I didn't know that that led to my superpower of consistency. But we're going to go over some stuff here in a second. And for those of you know me, know when I do this research and I find good articles and things to share, I always post a link to the article. So the link to the article is in the show notes as well as in the actual comments here. If you're watching this live on Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn or Twitter, or wherever you may be catching us live at, right? So this article is from Cake Insurance. It's from an insurance company of all places, but 10 ways exercise makes you a better entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship presents many challenges. It means long days, stressful situations, and sleepless nights. It means picking up new skills on the fly, processing huge amounts of information, and taking calculated risks. And it means interacting with people every day and still finding time to shut out the world and do focused, deep work. If there's one thing entrepreneurs shouldn't neglect, it's exercise. Exercise helps us handle all these challenges and perform at our best. So, how does exercise actually help you change the game as an entrepreneur? Number one, become a better learner with regular cardio. And again, this is an article found on cakeinsurance.com. Let me see. I was trying to see if it lists the author's name, and it doesn't. So I like to give credit where credit is due, right? Become a better learner with cardio. That is getting your heart rate up and sustained at a higher than resting heart rate for certain amounts of time, right? A big part of life as a business owner is the ability to process and integrate information quickly, whether you're looking over transaction statements or developing a new skill, right? Do me a favor also, y'all. if y'all have not already hit that share button, then it helps me out. A, because you get to introduce me to new people. But B, there's probably some people on your timeline looking for this kind of information. Everybody who's in entrepreneurship, we're all looking for an edge, right? And sometimes just hearing some of this stuff can literally transform the life of a business partner that you know. So please do your part and share the show. One of the things we can no longer afford to do is hoard information, right? We just can't afford that. But sometimes when we hear good information, we like to act upon it and not tell anybody for fear that it's going to somehow dim our light. That's not true, right? So hit that share button, ladies and gentlemen. That's all that I ask. If you are getting value, like, share, and engage with the show. Optimizing the health of your hippocampus, right? A brain region responsible for memory and learning makes this easier. So we're talking about, as entrepreneurs, we all have to learn on the fly. We all have to retain, process, regurgitate tons of information, right? And the hippocampus is responsible for memory and learning. Studies have found that steady state aerobic exercise fuels the growth of new neurons and protection of existing ones in this region, right? Trying to think about this. Most of y'all have never thought about exercise as a business strategy. I'm telling you, you look at some of the top entrepreneurs and influencers, and you will see that there's not a whole lot of them that are really getting it, that you can't tell that they are not taking their health seriously, right? So you can use an aerobic exercise that can be combined for long stretches of time: running, cycling, brisk walks, or swimming, or a few examples. Work up to a pace you can sustain for long periods of time, and aim for sessions of at least 20 minutes long. With practice, you should be able to get up to 45 to 60 minutes, right? We're talking about doing exercise and cardio so that as you keep your heart rate elevated for longer periods of time, your body will grow new neurons and protect existing ones in the region of your hippocampus, which is responsible for memory and learning. You guys learning something today? Man, I always feel good when I'm doing my study. And if you're new to the show, I'm talking to me. I'm just talking out loud, and y'all can hear me and engage with me. But by no means don't think that I'm shaming anyone. Don't think I'm talking down on anyone. This is for me. This is my own personal study that I'm trying to grow as an entrepreneur. I'm becoming, right? Write this down in your notes, right? In order for you to build a seven-figure business, you got to first become a seven-figure entrepreneur, or a seven-figure human being. In order for you to build a seven-figure business, you got to first become a seven-figure human being, right? What does that mean? I have to become the embodiment of the habits that seven-figure entrepreneurs have. I've got to become the embodiment of the values that seven-figure entrepreneurs live by. Therefore, I become a seven-figure human being. And then if I exercise and execute on those habits and those values long enough, the byproduct of being a seven-figure human being is you build a seven-figure business. You build a seven-figure community. You build a seven-figure nonprofit organization. You build a seven-figure network of relationships, right? I don't know, maybe business isn't your thing, but you become a better human being, and you become better at everything else that you do in life. So number one, to become a better learner, regular cardio can help, right? So we just getting started, y'all. But y'all know how we do at 7:20 every morning. We jump into 1 minute motivation. If you're not familiar with 1 minute motivation, it's where we play a short motivational video, usually 60 to 90 seconds or so. And I want you to listen and write down in the comments what it is that you are picking up or taking away from this particular session. So 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. Let's get it.
The hard times. So, and I'm sure you guys all have your processes. And again, I'm going to tell you what worked for me. So before a big movie comes out, before back in the days when I was wrestling with WWE, a WrestleMania match, anything big that would happen, I would always take a moment and I just remind myself, all right, I was evicted when I was 14. We were kicked off the island. We couldn't live in Hawaii. Had no place to live. A lot of shit happened then when I moved to Nashville. I was arrested multiple times by the time I was 16 years old. I would remember that, and it allows me then to be present in the moment and understand, holy, the stuff I have around me right now, this is the shit that I dreamed of when I was a kid. I am here. I played for University of Miami, played for great teams. Warren Sapp, Ray Lewis, they were my teammates. They were balling. Warren Sapp was playing tight end that time. I was starting defensive tackle. Yeah, they moved him over to D-line. And he looked at me, he's like, yo, dude, I'm gonna take your spot. And I said, you ain't taking my spot. He said, I'm gonna take your spot. I said, no, you ain't. We battled, and he took my spot. Now you can imagine how that with me, because there goes my opportunity. He went in, switched to defensive tackle, lit the world on fire. Well, what that did, it crushed me, it crushed my dreams. I had a piss poor senior year, zero production, no NFL, no combine invite, nothing. Finally went to the CFL, Calgary Stampeders, making $250 a week Canadian. Now, I had to send that home to my wife at that time. Had no money. So I remember that.
Hoo-wee. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you real quick, because listening to that, go ahead and start putting in your comments what your takeaways are. But for me, it made me ask some questions, right? How do you prepare for big moments, right? How do you prepare for opportunities that present themselves? Do you take them lightly? I like what he said, that he allows himself to go back in his mind to where he came from so he can realize the opportunity that is in front of them, right? How do you ground yourself? How do you make sure that you are present in every moment, right? I can imagine him doing a big movie scene or him doing a big match when he was wrestling and could let his past get in his way, could let imposter syndrome mess him up where he thinks he doesn't deserve to be there. And instead of being in the moment, present and fully prepared and taking it all in, he could be a little distracted, which could create a negative performance, right? How do you ground yourself, right? How do you make sure that you are present in the moment? Like, this is one of the things that I'm working on right now in my life. Like, Cortez, how do you, with this never-ending explosion of million-dollar ideas that run through your head all day, how do you be present and just say, okay, tonight I'm just going to watch a movie with my sugar. Tonight I'm just going to enjoy a basketball game with my son. Tonight I'm just going to sit back and listen to my son play his music. Tonight I'm just going to sit back and just have a conversation with my son. I'm not going to think business, right? How do you be present and in the moment so that you don't miss the moments, right? Those are questions that I have that I got to answer for myself that came out of me watching this. Here's the last one. How do you deal with disappointment and letdown? Right? We know the end of the story today, that he went on to be a big time wrestler. He went on to be a big time movie star. But imagine him at 20, 21, 22 years old, thinking he's going to the NFL, and somebody comes and takes his spot, takes his shine, and now his NFL hopes and dreams are crushed. How do you deal with that? You need to develop a plan and a system of how you're going to deal with those things, how you're going to be present for big moments, how you're going to ground yourself. You need to develop the system before those things happen so they won't knock you off balance. Right? Hey, Eliani, Black Bear, SEO Black Bear says, I was just talking about taking a 1 day to do nothing, right? You got to start planning for these things, right? There's a saying in the personal growth and self-development world that says, if you're not in a storm, you're just coming out of a storm. And if you're not coming out of a storm and you're not in a storm, then you're on your way to a storm. So how do you prepare your mind to deal with the storm that you know ultimately is coming? Right? Those are the questions that I got out of today's 1 minute of motivation. If you guys have not already joined the Black Bear Success Mastermind, then y'all know that that's what this is all about, right? So 1 minute motivation is brought to you by the Black Bear Success Mastermind. It is the premier and official mastermind for the Black Bear Success app. And all we want to do is give you the tools and resources to help you grow your Black business, right? Our mission is to help Black people become the #1 employers of Black people in the next 2 generations. How do we do that? We do that by focusing on closing the tech gap in business. Yes, Black businesses are still running analog businesses in a digital world. So we're bringing them into the future, so to speak, right? And we give hundreds of dollars of free tools, resources, training every single week to help Black-owned businesses grow and scale so they have no choice but to hire more Black people or contract with more Black people. And that's ultimately how we're going to change our community. So make sure you guys text Mastermind to 314-866-4053, right? He said, if I don't, I'll get burnt out. I like that. So text Mastermind at 314-866-4053 to get your private invitation to join the Black Bear Success Mastermind. So we're having this conversation about exercise as a business strategy, right? A lot of people are sleeping on this, right? But the top entrepreneurs in the world, they're serious about their health, physical, emotional, mental, their nutrition, their diet, and their exercise routines are right up there with top athletes. I'm not playing. I study successful people, and successful people make time for exercising and working out. So number 1 on the list is you can learn better if you have a cardio routine, right? Number 2, become a more flexible, focused thinker with high intensity interval training. Now, this is my favorite form of training. I was experiencing some back challenges, so I kind of still do high intensity, but low impact. I'm riding my bike more than I ever have before, but I'm getting back to some of my squat jumps and my split squat jumps and some of the more high intensity stuff as well. So let's see what the effect of high intensity interval training is. If you really want to develop some mental agility, try high intensity interval training, otherwise known as HIIT, HIIT, has been found to most effectively increase levels of BDNF in many areas of the brain, right? BDNF is a neurotrophin that plays a big part in neuroplasticity, allowing us to handle unknown situations, think up creative solutions, and adapt on our feet. You don't think that'll give you a competitive advantage in business? If you become more agile, quicker on your feet, come on. Thanks to its activity in the cortex, it also benefits executive function, our ability to choose our tasks more wisely, pay attention to the right things at the right time, and maintain self control. High intensity interval training has this type of impact, right? So, as the name suggests, it's intense. Work your way up to it though, because if you are unfit now, don't dive straight in, right? And I had this habit when I would train people, I would just throw them right in. I do a warm up called 50 by 5, right? That is 50 repetitions of 5 high intensity exercises in 5 minutes or less, right? We start with 50 tuck jumps. We would then do 50 push ups. Then we do 50 split squat jumps. Then we do 50 dips. And then we would end with 50 regular squat jumps, right? And if you're not fit at all, if you don't exercise, you can't do that. I would have athletes, young basketball players, football players, like teenagers should be full of energy, would be almost passing out just in our warm up, right? But high intensity interval training is really, really, really critical for neuroplasticity, right? One of my genius zone is my creative thinking, right? That's my genius zone, and it could be because I always participated in high intensity interval training. Number three on the list. Number three, we're talking about how does exercise challenge your ability to be a better entrepreneur, right? Hell says, not now, these knees, right? Yeah, but that's also one of the things, L, that actually, like, our body is designed for efficiency, right? So if you don't use it, you'll lose it. So your brain says, hey, if you're not doing anything worthwhile with these knees, we're gonna stop sending um, nutrition to these areas because you're not using them. But you work your way up to high intensity and watch how you can rebuild the strength in your knees. It's amazing how that all works, right? So number three, exercise earlier for better sleep. Right now, we're talking about exercise as a business strategy, right? And you think getting good sleep will not make you fresher the next day, will not position you to produce better, right? High quality sleep might be something many entrepreneurs forego, but it's important to both ongoing good health and your success in business. Among other things, sleep significantly impacts impulse control, rational decision making, and mood, right? What do you think the phrase woke up on the wrong side of the bed comes from? Comes from entrepreneurs, bosses showing up on a job when they didn't get enough sleep and they cranky. Come on, do you think there's a difference in me getting a full night's sleep and me going in to have my first client meeting at 8 o'clock versus somebody who didn't get any sleep and they have their first client meeting at 8 o'clock? Do you think there's a bit of a difference between how we both will perform in those meetings? Absolutely. Exercise improves sleep quality via so many mechanisms that we can't list them all here. But the earlier in the day you exercise, the better you'll sleep, right? In one study, participants performed aerobic exercises at 7 a.m., 1 p.m., and 7 p.m. Exercise at 7 a.m. led to the highest quality sleep, while exercise at 7 p.m. reduced time and rapid eye movement sleep, right? So I'm a big proponent of, I just added exercise into my morning routine, right? I'm going to 5 days per week, which will be I do Monday, Tuesday, I rest Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then I'll alternate my Saturdays and Sundays, right? So one Saturday I'll rest and then I'll work out on Sunday. And then the following week, that means I'll work out on Saturday and rest Sunday, right? So I just added to my morning routine. Now, I used to have insomnia when I was a kid because of childhood trauma, being molested, being abused as a kid, being neglected as a kid. that led to a lot of childhood trauma. But then I found a cure. Today they call it CBD and THC, but we just called it good old reefer back in the day, right? That was my cure. I would smoke every day so that I could sleep, right? But when I started to deal with that trauma and release that trauma, I don't have a problem sleeping. In fact, my wife is so jealous that usually within 2 to 3 minutes of me hitting the pillow, I am out. And when I say out, I'm talking about that good, deep sleep, right? That, I'm not the one who wakes up at every slight sound in the middle of the night. No, I'm just not, right? I sleep good, I sleep deep, and more importantly, I rest. You guys know a lot of people who sleep 8 hours, sleep 6 hours, sleep 5 hours. Doesn't mean that they are resting during those times, right? I rest. And part of that is because for the last 3 years, I've been up working out early mornings, right? So just think about it. Now, if your schedule says that you have to work out later in the day, it is what it is, but get you some exercise in. It's going to help you in so many areas of your business. Number 4, develop a more commanding presence with weight training, right? Now, how many of you guys know that there is a beauty bias in business, right? How many of you guys know that? Do you guys realize that? There is something called beauty bias. I don't got time to go into all of the studies, but people who are physically attractive do better in life because of it. I'm telling you, it is a known fact that physical attraction, the more beautiful you are, the more opportunities and doors open to you. It is just a fact, right? And when you think about weight training, it gives you the ability to increase your presence. As much as we like to think business is a meritocracy where good ideas will always rise to the top, it's an established fact that we respond more receptively to men and women who carry themselves with confidence. Lifting weights with correct form realigns our bodies so that we more naturally display this confidence in our posture and increase muscularity, which sends similar signals. Yep, this will take time, but it doesn't hurt to fake it until you make it, right? If you need to deliver compelling presentations or get better outcomes in tough negotiations, it's wise to add some strength training to your regimen, because make sure you get coaching at least initially so that you have your form correct. But man, when you stand up straight and your shoulders are broad and you feel good, you feel strong, that comes through in the way that you communicate, y'all. I'm telling you, this will give you a competitive advantage in business. It's more than the superficiality of just looking good and feeling good, but there are things going on in your brain that exercise produces that makes you a better entrepreneur. Point blank and period. And if you don't believe me, get on an exercise routine for 6 months and start tracking how it impacts your business. Start seeing if you get more sales. Start seeing if more opportunities start to open up to you. Start seeing your energy level. Start recognizing the compliments that you get from people as they're like, man, you seem different, right? I'm telling you. And it spills over into every other area of your life. Number 5, reduce stress and anxiety with yoga or stretching. Every entrepreneur knows that there can be dark moments along this road. There's despair when things look hopeless, and daily anxiety about making payroll, looming expenses, and finishing projects on time, right? To navigate all of this successfully, it's essential to keep those feelings from overwhelming you and keep them in their useful place, or as signalers to action, right? Exercise has conclusively been shown to reduce anxiety via biological and physiological mechanisms, as well as to have a protective effect against stressors yet to come. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down this morning? Right? Right? To tackle anxiety from both directions, add a meditation practice to your day. It goes down especially well right after your workout, and you can use an app like Headspace or Oak to get you started really easily. In one study, it was found that workers can reduce their anxiety and delay burnout with regular stretching. Right. Similarly, yoga reduces levels of cortisol, well known as the stress hormone, which allows us to handle stressful situations more mindfully and ward off feelings of anxiety. Who knew? Huh? Who knew? Like these are things that we look to do just for our personal lives, but I'm telling you, this is how you get a competitive advantage in business. And when we come back on the other side of this break, we're going to get into the last 5 so that you guys know that without a shadow of a doubt, as you guys are preparing your New Year's resolutions, this is yet another reason that you should stick to your New Year's resolution of being more fit. Keep it locked right here.
Hey, yo, listen, man, I don't know about you, but as a solopreneur, the last thing I can do is afford to miss a phone call that might lead to money. So when I found out that building my website and sales funnels on the Black Bear Success app included a dedicated phone number with boomerang text back, that was the icing on the cake for me. That means anytime my phone rings, and if I'm on a webinar, if I'm doing a podcast, if I'm away from my phone and I miss the call, the system will automatically text that person back with a message from me asking, how can I help? So I no longer miss money, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I'm getting ready to do a photo shoot right now, so I'm gonna be tied up. But if somebody's calling me about business, guess what? I'm gonna get the message and I'm gonna send them back a message that they can connect with me on blackbearsuccess.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cortez Hustle Show. I'm, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, and we are live and direct from the Black Bear Success Mastermind Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri. Make sure you text keyword Mastermind at 314-866-4053 if you want to join our business community. So we're talking about exercise as a business strategy, right? We listed 5 different exercises and what they can do for your body. Number 1, cardio helps you become a better learner. Number 2, become flexible, focused thinker with high intensity interval training. Number 3, get better sleep by exercising earlier. Number 4, develop commanding presence with weight training. Number 5, reduce stress and anxiety with yoga or stretching. Number 6 on the list, improve your mood and outlook by training with intensity. The benefits don't stop once you've controlled stress and anxiety. You've established a good baseline. From there, you can optimize your state of mind, attaining a better mood, mindset, and outlook, which naturally increases your productivity and improves your ability to deal with other people. That's business, y'all. You got to be able to deal with people. Every business, right? Write this down for your notes. If you've never heard me say it before, I don't care what you sell, what product, what service you are marketing in business. Every business is 3 businesses before you sell what you sell. Number 1, you're in a people business. Number 2, you're in a media business. Number 3, you're in a tech business. And if you ain't figured that out by now, that could be why you're not where you want to be when it comes to business. You got to understand how to deal with people. You got to understand how to deal with media. You got to understand how to deal with technology. And that's got to be a focus in your business, whether you do it personally or you hire someone. You've got to understand that. We know that exercise improves self-esteem. You'll feel more grounded, socially integrated, and generally happy, right? And exercise provides an easy win within your control for the day. Having gotten your workout out of the way, You've checked off a goal, gained a feeling of accomplishment, and can move into the rest of your day with momentum. And I'll tell you, nothing makes me feel like I'm ready to slay my day than coming out of my workout, hopping into a cold shower, waking up every cell in my body to give him thanks and praise that I've got the strength, courage, wisdom, the passion, and compassion to slay my day. And when I don't do that, I kind of drag through my day, right? I'm just being honest, right? Number 7, become more centered, decisive, and aggressively pursue your goals. Weight training is a great way to improve your hormonal profile, which has a massive impact on your overall health. For our purposes, it increases feelings of well-being, gives you resilience to stress, and makes us more decisive and motivated. For both men and women, resistance training increases testosterone and growth hormones and reduces levels of cortisol at rest. Ladies, you won't grow a beard if you start lifting weights, right? Exercise optimizes hormones within the norms for you, right? While it's often unfairly painted, testosterone helps us improve cognition, feel more at ease with ourselves, cooperate with our teams, and make hard business decisions. It also motivates us to strive for big goals. Growth hormones improve recovery time from exercise, as well as wounds and bone fractures, improve sleep quality, and can even mitigate some of the damage of the sleep deprivation entrepreneurs subject themselves to, right? So, are you doing some sort of resistance training? Believe it or not, body weight training is resistance training, right? Now, you obviously may have to do a lot more reps to get the same impact, but when you do a squat, your body weight is the resistance. When you do a push-up, your body weight is the resistance. When you do a pull-up, your body weight is the resistance, right? Come on, y'all. Exercise is one of the best, and talk about return on investment. Like, come on, invest in a good fitness routine and the discipline that goes with it. And right now, we're talking about this as a business strategy, but really, this is a life strategy, right? Exercise is a life strategy. There's so many positive benefits from exercising that we can't even list them all in an hour-long podcast, but it should go without saying that it's worth the investment. And what I like to look at is, I don't want to be at 60 years old broke down, right? At 70 years old broke down. Now, I don't want to have to be doing physical labor at 70 years old, but I want to be able to. I want to have the physical stamina and the fitness and the strength to, if I had to, right? You guys know me. I only work for 3 things: passive income, residual income, and ownership. I don't work with my hands anymore. I don't work with my physical labor anymore. But that doesn't mean I don't want to be physically in shape to do it, right? I still want to raise all of my grandchildren when I'm 60 years old, 70 years old, right? I want to get out there on Thanksgiving and play the family game of flag football at 70 years old and watch how my children compete on our estate, right? Where we have a football field with lines on it, right? And the whole 9 yards on the family estate. But when it comes to business, a competitive edge in business, right, this should be a reason for you to stick to your New Year's resolution. Because I know y'all all about to make one. Y'all all about to make the New Year's resolution. I'm hoping that this is giving you more of a reason to stick to your resolution this year. Number 8, ward off common brain killers with swimming. Today, one of the most common conditions that handicaps cognition and energy is diabetes and its precursors, metabolic syndrome, which affects an estimated 34% of Americans. We're also seeing increasing occurrences of neurodegenerative conditions and cancer. This is particularly optimistic. This isn't particularly optimistic talk, but the good news is that across all of these conditions, exercise is a potent preventative. The advantage is staggering. Weight loss achieved through exercise reduces the risk of diabetes by 58%, almost twice as much as preventative metformin, right? Grab your flippers. Any consistently implemented exercise plan will provide these benefits, including swimming. If you're already at risk, swimming is a particularly good choice, as the buoyancy of water means there's less stress on the heart, and the lack of impact means that strained joints can exert themselves with less risk, right? So there you go, Elle. You need to start swimming. You can do a high intensity interval training in a swimming pool with less risk of damaging those knees, right? Number 9, develop the energy and stamina to go the distance, right? It's 7 a.m. and some of y'all like, this dude is hollering. He's got too much damn energy for 7 o'clock in the morning, right? Well, if you just rolled out of bed at 6:50, maybe. I've been up since 4:30. So this ain't the beginning of my day. Like, I've already been up for 3 hours. Right? So I'm primed and ready to go, right? Entrepreneurs depend on consistent energy and stamina to get through long stretches of work. It's likely no surprise to you that exercise provides both. One study found that sedentary workers who complain about fatigue can reduce it by a whopping 65%, increase energy levels by 20%, just by engaging in regular exercise. The kicker, it doesn't even have to be a slog. Low intensity exercise will do the trick, right? Just get out and walk for 25, 30 minutes. Right? Exercise improves heart health, which improves endurance and stamina. Your body will be able to take more of what you throw at it, and better blood flow to the brain will do the same for it. It certainly worked for Batman, right? So increased blood flow and circulation to the brain is incredibly helpful, right? You guys know that yesterday we talked about the brain foods that you should be consuming. And if you missed that, go to thecortezhustleshow.com and there's you can watch the replay. I even put the list of some of my favorite brain food recipes on there, and it links out to a lot of different stuff. So go to thecortezhustleshow.com. If you guys ever want to watch replays of anything that we do, you can actually search for different topics and look at different categories. All the replays of the shows are out there. We're on episode 227, right? Can you believe it? Nevertheless, right, exercise can help you with your stamina, right? I don't often have to do late nights in my business, right? But I can see myself as the brand starts to grow globally and me having to deal with more West Coast clients who are, at 9 o'clock here, it's 7 o'clock there, right? And I might have to be on some Zooms and things of that nature, right? So one of the things that I'm doing to prepare myself to be able to endure is making sure that my health and fitness routine is on point. Number 10, make new connections and new friends with organized sports. This is another thing. So I told you that you are in 3 businesses before you sell anything. Business number 1 is you're in a relationship business, and you never know who you might meet at the gym, right? You never know, right? You might meet your Paul Allen to your Bill Gates at the gym. You might meet your next mentor at the gym. You might meet your next mentee at the gym. You just never know. But another good way to get exercise in is through organized sports, in which case you'll meet new people that way. Exercise clearly has a multitude of positive effects on the body and mind, but it can also do a lot for the soul too. Team sports and other cooperative exercise activities provide you with a venue in which to meet people you wouldn't have been introduced to through your business. It's a great way to make friends who can support you and be supported in turn through the difficulties of business and life. From time to time, you'll even make connections who can help you in business through, though you may end up with some bumps and bruises along the way. So another good way, and I was just telling my sugar that I'm going to go back into the gym and start doing some pickup basketball. That's my sport of choice, right? But not even just pick up basketball. I just like to be in competitive environments and to test and push my limits. But basketball is my favorite sport. So I'm going to get back into the gym and do some pickup for that reason, to get out and connect with other people, to compete and get those competitive juices flowing and things of that nature. So if you guys learned something today, do me a favor, drop a 1 in the comment for me. If you guys learned anything today, drop a 1 in the comment. And if you like your boy and you want to see this show continue to thrive, then go ahead and hit that share button as well. So that's it. Entrepreneurship as a strategy. Tomorrow, we're going to be talking about things that you should resolve to do in your business. Jenny Okoye, I see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And it looks like, I don't know if I've ever seen your name pop up in the feed before. So if this is your first time listening to the show, drop a 2 in the comments, because I like to connect with my first time listeners. Also, remember that if you want a free vacation, all you got to do is go to, if you have a Roku player, this is the easiest way for you to get a free vacation. If you got a Roku player, go to your Roku player, do a search for the Unheard TV channel. Add that channel to your Roku player and take a picture of your TV and send it to me. And I'm going to send you a free vacation voucher. I'm so serious, right? My new show, The Black Bear Success Show, is coming out on Roku January 5th. I'm so excited. And the only way you're going to be able to see it is if you put the channel on your Roku player. And I want to reward you for doing that. So thank you, Jenny. She said this is her first time. So glad that you tuned in. Come back and see us. And make sure that you, whenever you jump on the stream, always tell us about your business or your brand. Just don't post any links, but you never know who might want to connect with you based on that. This is a great place to network. So until I talk to you guys next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. So hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.